time for more real talk about the voiceover industry with your hosts, Linda Bruno and JJ Wilson. It's the Voiceover Gurus Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Voiceover Gurus Podcast. Hello, JJ Wilson.
Hello, Linda Bruno.
How are you today?
I am hanging in there.
In there, as opposed to...
I'm hanging in there.
In there. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know who else is
Yes.
hanging in there with us? Nice segue.
Yes.
Is
Alyssa.
the lovely
is
Alyssa
here.
Jayson, our acting guru.
Wow. You never
The
called me
rumors
lovely.
are true.
They are?
I am here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, they are. All of
I'll
them.
be right over.
She exists. She exists, and not just in online workouts and private coaching, but she is here today because we wanted to talk about all the things that you do during your coaching sessions because, JJ has firsthand experience.
I do. And I have a second hand, too.
Yes.
They're both on my watch. Yes. Yes, I do.
So, JJ, why don't you talk about what happened and why you wound up going to Alyssa?
Well, because you see, in this business, after you do it a long time, you become a teacher and you teach all these people to do things, but you forget to do them yourself.
So true.
You're so busy doing that, and like you said, you were talking about this is taking up a lot of time for everybody, and you get involved in the teaching, and then you got to go off and do 17 auditions, and we just start to go fast because we've been doing it so long. Mm-hmm. And we do the normal thing we always do that used to book us work every time we did it. But it's a different world now. And, when you got 100 people sending in an audition, you have to figure out, this is what I relearned from Alyssa, was that you got to do it differently than them.
Yeah, how do you make yourself stand out? So this is,
Stepping over the line. She says I keep going up to the line, and I was thinking back at my auditions, and I go, yeah, I'm not really giving them a whole lot of thought. I read their little, you have to be tall and sounding like the Ford guy on a Thursday and all that crap, and I was just sticking to it and doing the read. But then when you see these spots that you didn't book,
yeah.
they're nothing like what they explained.
Yeah.
So I think half the time that they don't know what they want. They're just writing something down because that's what they feel.
At that time, yeah.
At that time.
They
So
don't know.
then, when they hear the auditions and they hear something that was unexpected, that somebody that took a chance and did a little more or changed it up a little bit, they got the spot. I swear, the Ashley Home Store, I've told this before, but I auditioned for that, and the guy who got it says store differently. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, so come to Ashley Home Store. And I'm sure they went, oh, I like the way he said that. Let's use him.
It could have come down to that. You never know.
It could have come down to that.
Alyssa, what do you think about that?
I 100% agree. And something that I know firsthand because I'm someone that has casted voiceover work and written voiceover work and produced. I know that half the time, things are being created in people's heads of an idea because just like what JJ's saying, they have to. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to it, what is the impetus for most of our decisions in life?
Not.
It's feeling. It's feeling. Make me feel something. Yeah. And it's like we get really caught up as voiceover artists in how we're saying it. And that's like my biggest thing in my coaching. It doesn't matter how you say it. Of course, there are tricks. Of course, we learn inflections and cadences and coloring, but that's like your toolbox as a professional voiceover actor, but nothing takes away the ability to connect and feel so that energy crosses over the line and touches somebody and makes them feel something and say, wow, this person, it may not even be exactly what they want, but they're like, I felt something. I want to work with them.
Yep. The guy on the Ashley has a warmth on the word store, Ashley Home Store, that just welcomed me.
But then how
And
do
I
you...
said, yep,
Yeah.
he deserved it.
So, but how do we figure out what it is that we should do differently?
You know, I'll take JJ's session with me for an example, because it's a good one. There was a very specific read that these casting people were looking for, and they referenced a very specific character. JJ, may I disclose the reference? Sure. Okay. So they were looking for a Dennis Leary type. Now, as voiceover artists, when we see a name in a description, we go like, oh, what does Dennis Leary sound like?
Yeah.
That's our instinct to go to.
Right. But
truly, Dennis Leary, because we're thinking, Dennis Leary doesn't sound like anything. What Dennis Leary is always in this indifferent angst. He's an angsty guy that's always on the border of like a blow up. He's like 1 second away from throwing everything, throwing a cigarette, and walking out of frame. And it wasn't that they were looking for Dennis Leary's voice. They were looking for Dennis Leary's energy.
Interesting.
And I didn't quite catch on to his energy because I was concentrating so much more on the voice that I was figured, well, the guy just talks fast and he's got a little bit of an attitude. No. And after Alyssa pointed this out, he has a lot of attitude and he is close to breaking.
And that's what they wanted. Right. Relational to this happened to be a political ad.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
So they're trying to capture this brewing anger against the opposing, candidate. And you needed that energy, not the voice. And, that happens so often, is that you just are not focusing on the feeling that they're looking to create. And it really applies to like every kind of spot, even a car spot. It's like very important to determine like, okay, is this me trying to sell a car so that they want me to feel value? They want me to feel bargain. They want me to feel excitement because there's a deal. Or is this me speaking as the car? They want me to feel innovation. They want me to feel research. They want me to feel development. And all those types of adjectives inform how I use my voice.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the feelings that inform your voice, not the words.
I guess I've made that mistake a lot of times myself if they give me a celebrity reference. I go to YouTube, I find the celebrity, because a lot of times they'll send you a link and you'll click it and you'll be like, okay, this is what they're looking for, not thinking about the fact that it's supposed to be the feeling behind and the emotion behind this actor, as opposed to simulating, being similar to their sound.
Yeah, you want to create their energy.
Yeah.
Unless it's yes, there are things where they're looking for a sound alike because they don't have the budget to hire the actor.
Celebrity voices impersonated.
If they really had the budget to hire the actor, they'd be hiring the actor because every actor is doing voiceovers these days. Even, Julia Roberts, I think, is the voice of State Farm or something.
Right.
So it's just a matter of if they want to sound alike, then they really want to sound alike.
So you remember the guy, the Geico Gecko, he has that Cockney accent, right? So I'm a big fan of this soap opera called EastEnders. I've been watching it since I was 21. And there is a character on there who was the voice of the Geico Gecko, this actor. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then all of a sudden, I guess he was their voice for many years, the voice of the gecko. And then he was interviewed about it. He goes, yeah, one day they just stopped calling. And they just found a sound alike to pay a lot less.
For much less money.
Yeah, probably.
And it's not him anymore. Because the guy sounds exactly the same. Whoever the actor is sounds exactly the same. So that's a great example.
What Alyssa did during that session was I sent her the audition I sent in.
Okay.
And then 20 minutes later, she had me to the point where it was a completely different read.
Really?
It was totally indifferent. It was totally pissy. The attitude was there, and the voice actually was even better because the voice follows the attitude.
Oh, interesting.
It's interesting for me. I also bring So I'm a recording artist when it comes to singing, right? And Linda, I know, you sing. So as singers, just like voiceover artists, we get attached to the sound of our voice. And I know from the years of recording full albums, if I get stuck, if I listen to take after take after take, just listening to the sound of my voice,
Yeah.
I will never get the best interpretation of a song ever.
That makes sense. You're focused on the
Because
sound.
I'm not going behind the microphone. I'm not going for the emotion. I'm going for the sound.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like you're holding your own throttle back.
Yep.
You're building a box around your voice and not allowing it to have all of the expression that it has because you're so thinking about how you sound or what you've done or what the expectation of your voice is.
That therein lies the argument for not wearing headphones sometimes. Because you wear headphones, sometimes you listen to yourself, you're like, I sound fabulous.
I sound fabulous.
I sound fabulous.
That's right. If you do wear them, just don't wear them too loud.
So
Otherwise, you will fall in love with your voice.
last week, because JJ had told me some about your coaching session and saying about how you just pushed him, he threw things away and just pushed himself to the limit. I had an audition. And I said, F it. I'm just going to do the same thing. And I don't wear my headphones anymore for auditions. And I just went crazy, went for it for this audition. Lo and behold, I got a call back. And you know who it was through, JJ? Go Voices, who I have not done anything with in years.
Wow.
I figured you'd get a kick out of that. It's
Yeah.
Go Voices.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they asked for 3 other versions, and they asked for different energy levels, and then one with a Southern accent and all this stuff. But I thought, you know what? I know it's because I let go completely. And in my mind, I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to try to do something that I try to keep you in mind, Alyssa, when you talk about in the online workouts about what someone is expecting to hear. Like you say, you'll listen to a student read and you'll say, yeah, that seems like what is expected of the script, but it's not unique. It's not, I don't know how you'd phrase it. How do you phrase it?
Yeah, I mean, unique, stand out, but also I always use the word specificity. That's a big one with my students because when you can get really specific rather than focusing, a lot of students will come to me and be like, I'm having trouble with car spots, or I'm having trouble with narration, or I'm having trouble with retail. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. That's such a generalization of then you have an expectation of what a retail spot should sound like. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, you need to get in there. You need to get into exactly what that spot, that script is calling on of you for only that and that alone.
Right.
As separate from all else. So, that's a big difference too. And it's like what you're saying, Linda, when you can go out there and cross the line and stand out over the 332 other auditions that they've heard,
right.
You may have inspired them to hear something they didn't hear when they wrote that and sent that copy out. And now you've inspired them, so they're opening a dialogue with you to get you to give more.
Interesting.
And you just brought up a point about not caring. When I was, many, many years ago, when I was, really, really doing many, many voiceovers, I started to do some on-camera work. And when I walked in the door, I didn't care. I was making a fortune doing voiceovers.
That's a good place to be.
Because of that, I booked a lot of things because I wasn't desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you sound desperate on a voiceover audition, it's not the same as pushing it, to the limits and beyond. It's like desperation.
Right.
And you don't want to have that sound in your. So you have to do every audition like it's, and for. There are times for all of us when your mortgage depends on you getting some of these things.
Right.
But you
Absolutely.
can't let that point across at all.
Well, that's what happened when I've told the story before about when I was about to quit the business. And that last audition I did, I said, I don't care anymore.
Screw this.
Because they were like, you're number 50. And I'm like, okay, I don't even care. And I walked in there. Next thing you know, I wind up booking the campaign. It's a 1.5 year long thing. And it was, I literally didn't care. I was at that point of such frustration of not booking jobs, of not being, able to succeed that naturally the attitude, maybe it's a bad attitude. I don't know what it is.
It's good character key.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it brings in energy.
Yeah.
Just like what I'm like now you have a different energy behind what you're doing. So even though that energy could have been negative, could have been whatever, it brought an energy to the read.
That's cool.
And it got whatever fears or worries or desperation you had out of the way, you could do your thing.
Yeah. That's so true.
And that's when you book them. You can't go
That's
in
the
going,
secret. That's the secret.
I've got to book this. I've got to book this.
Well, with my students, and you guys also see when I bring the scripts to workout, I delete description.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always, because I don't want that to get in your head. You are you, your voice is yours. We all have a range of things we can embody. We all have natural tonality. We all have our things, our strengths. But one thing that really frustrates me is when somebody walks in, a student walks in, is like, oh, I don't do that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what?
Okay, bye.
Or that's not my bag of tricks.
Yeah.
Like your voice is this infinite instrument that if you allow yourself the fun to connect to the energy and the emotion that informs it, you can go all over the place.
So this is what's great about your perspective with it, because JJ and I come from obviously doing VO solely. That's what we do. And so we can get technical with it. We can, we work within the confines of what we get. And for you, because you come from that other world, it's a great perspective, because by removing all the specs, you're solely focusing on someone's performance, and that's it. It's a wonderful, just a variation on the whole thing that everybody I think needs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why our online
work. You don't care.
But this is not. I am tooting our own horns. But as voiceover gurus, all three of us are the main coaches. That help you work on your demo. So you get those three different perspectives. But it's vital to be able to get the acting, which is the foundation, from someone who's a genuine actor, not from a voice actor, but from an actor.
Actor.
Yes, an actor, because it just really rounds it out and fulfills, in my opinion, your performance, your whole delivery.
Yeah.
And the industry has changed so much.
You
I
think?
was, we know in the myriad of ways that get discussed here in the Gurus. And then also from my perspective, right, as somebody connected to acting, those that are acting in film and TV, and working with those actors. Whereas it used to be separate, meaning there was this VO world and then there were the actors. And that line did not get crossed. And that wasn't that long ago. 15 years ago, actors were not being encouraged by their agents to go into voiceover work. That was considered career doom.
Yeah, it wasn't like a step down. They didn't want to do it.
Yes, it was along the par of I'm going in to get set experience by being an extra. And everyone would be like, no, you'll never get an under 5. Once you're an extra, you'll never speak. And the same thing applied to VO. It was like, no, if you go into that's career doom. But now, all of my acting friends, all of those people who are out there have their commercial agent, have their film agent, have their theater agent, and they have their VO agent. So you have actors who are studying the craft entering your industry.
Yeah.
Great.
Right? And now you're competing against those people for the jobs.
Right. Wow. Yes. Extra competition. Yay. Just what we need, right, JJ?
Yep. I was in Black Sunday, by the way, just so you know.
Black Sunday?
Yeah, the one that was filmed at the Orange Bowl.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah, I
even
was
know
in
what
row
that is.
15, seat number 29.
Perfect.
What I think is cool is that you were in Bad Boys 2,
Yes.
and I was in Bad Boys 1.
You guys, like, seriously?
Yeah, well, my car is in an episode of the one with the two guys in Miami Vice.
Miami Vice.
Yeah,
My car.
Nice.
My car, I think, is the only thing that made it to Bad Boys 1. I got an extra $75 for the use of
Cool.
the car.
Yes,
for
I
that
believe I
day.
did too.
Right?
Yeah.
Bump up.
Just drive here. Okay. All right, I'm in.
So
Okay.
we're introducing a very cool concept here at the Gurus. It's the performance packages. And it's 3 lessons with each of us. You pick a package. So
Pack a package
you pick a package. So
with Peter Pecker.
JJ's package is going to be all about narration and like corporate narration.
Corporate e-learn and
a little bit of in-show narration, yeah?
who what?
You're going to discuss a little bit of in-show narration, like some of your work that you've done.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna cover corporate e-learn and narration because they really are 3 different reads.
So it's 3 hours with
Yes. Yes.
one guru, on that particular genre of which, he's like very much a specialist at. For me,
And then on the 3rd day, you
yeah.
actually have to do a session for me.
yes, a fully
Yes.
directed session with
Yes.
you, which is
Yes.
mine is
Of a
going to be
short script,
focused on
not a 2-hour
commercials. Mine's going to be focused on commercials because that has been one of my main bread and butter sources. But Alyssa's perspective is going to be really cool. Just tell us briefly, Alyssa, what you're going to be doing in your performance package.
Yeah, I'm going to be really focusing on getting you more connected authentically versus focusing on the read. We're actually going to blow that form out and we're not going to focus on the read. We're going to focus on connection. If those who are listening who've been at workout, this is my line always. Right now, as I am speaking, I am not thinking about how I am speaking. The environment with which I'm in and what I'm doing is just creating the voice I'm speaking with.
Yeah.
And that's really going to be the focus of our work, getting us out of our heads and into our natural instrument and using all of it to work on performance.
So that'll be like a 3-lesson package that you can sign up with Alyssa. It'll just basically just be on acting. Yes.
I had another idea for a course. I'm going to be doing an AI course.
And I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
And I'm going
Where
to
I
do a
teach
course
you to
on killing
speak
you.
like that so they don't have to convert it. And they can use your voice all over the world for $12.
So, well, you read about James Earl Jones, right? He's just went ahead and signed off. So an AI.
Yes.
So his voice can be reconstructed AI.
reconstructed.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not totally against that with him because obviously his voice is, I don't know. There's something.
He's 118.
Yeah, I
now,
think he's
so.
not.
This is CNN.
So, question for each of you: what do you think is the biggest mistake someone can make if they're entering the voiceover business? What do you think the biggest mistake they could make that they should avoid?
Wow.
Overthinking
That's
everything.
Overthinking. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Overthinking, yes, and also limiting yourself. Like I was saying, coming in with this preconceived notion of what you do and what you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like carrying that energy. I've had that when I was casting, is that you're trying as a casting director, you've gotten in the door, the casting director hears something in you, and then you're there on the other side telling them, oh no, I can't do that.
Never.
Yeah.
The more things you ask me to do, the more fun I'm having.
Never say that you can't.
It's a challenge. It's a game. It's called Please the Producer.
Yeah.
If you please them, you win, and you come back for the game too.
Exactly.
Right. So don't limit yourself. Take a chance.
No,
Try.
take a chance.
Right.
I've been saying that to
Take a
all
chance.
my students lately. Take the scripts we work on today and read them 10 different ways.
So now I get students that come in and they're brand spanking new. They don't know anything about voiceover, and they say, okay, I want to do promos, I want to do commercials, I want to do audiobooks, and they give me like the list of all these things they want to do. And I'm always like, let's take it one step at a time. But what do you feel? How do you feel about that, Alyssa? If somebody comes to you with like,
I 100% agree. Yeah. Find a focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a focus. And I think that, for me personally, commercials always are where I'm directing somebody as a
Yeah.
first focus.
Yep.
Because you are going to develop the greatest amount of range inside of your commercial VO spots. You can take the skills you develop in your commercial training and you can bring it to any other form of VO work.
Yeah, agreed.
Makes you the most versatile.
Agreed.
So you can hit.
And also, I know that ebooks and all of that sound in theory as great work, and they can be, but actually they're the hardest. Maintaining your voice, maintaining interest, maintaining connection for 170 pages takes quite the actor.
I agree. And unless you're like either unionized or you have this agent just for audiobooks, the money is really crappy.
Crappy.
It's crappy.
It's crappy considering
It's just really crappy.
how much work you put into it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's 1,500 for those 170 pages. I just did 5 car spots and made almost all of that in 9 minutes. So
That's why we like commercials.
that's right. Don't want to do the long. And oh God, I want to be a character voice, a cartoon voice.
Everybody
Well,
wants to
good
do that.
luck with that. I hope you live in L.A. and you're really good and you know a lot of people.
Yeah, what do you
But
tell
right
people
now-
with that, Alyssa? Because I know what we tell them.
That's exactly what I tell people. You know, have fun, develop the skill, develop all the voices, develop your characters. But if you want to go into that industry, you're not a voiceover actor. You're going into the animation industry, and you need to get in there, and you need to start informing yourself, knowing the players, and just be specific to that. Because it's like trying to break through any kind of, acting door.
It's usually the first thing people want to do, too. That's what attracts them to VO.
Yeah.
And then they find out the other stuff and they go, oh, wah, wah.
Yeah, have develop it, have a blast.
Right.
Right.
But do commercials and a lot of retail to make money to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're intent on doing animation, then get yourself fully immersed, not only in animation voiceovers, but you need to be going to like the conventions for animation so that you know the directors who are doing that. Like you need to
Like
get
Comic-Con?
in there. Like Comic-Con. Yeah, like all of that stuff. You would need to start to get into that industry fully because it's a world unto itself.
Yes. It's a whole different world, which I don't get.
These aren't auditions that are coming up on your general casting notices. Agents aren't receiving voices for animated films unless it's a student film or, like that kind of stuff will show up on your breakdowns, but not to get into a Disney film.
Now,
that person has been on their radar to get into that film for the past 5 years.
It's mostly stars anyway doing those.
Yeah.
Right.
Actors, stars. So, yeah.
Now, I know we've sent a couple of our students, Alyssa, you and I, to castingcall.com or castingclub.com.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
And one of my students booked something through it. And so it's like an independent animator creating a show, and they hired her, and so there's small opportunities if you want to seek them out. I don't think she's getting paid, I think it's more of a credit thing.
Exactly.
But
it's the kind of thing that you develop your reel for years and years and years. You develop all the voices. Anytime you get on anything, a student project, you make sure you get that copy. If that's just your payment, you're getting paid in copy
yeah,
for your reel.
you're getting paid in copy. But it exists if you don't want to move
But
to LA.
It exists, but truly expand that mind that has you locked into anything.
Yeah, that's true. But
For now, like you said, learning the commercial end will pretty much cover everything else.
Commercials do.
And it will pay the bills.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go through retail. I'm going to go through branding styles of commercials. And I'm going to touch on DRTV, direct response, as well as automotive. But there's, as soon as the industry starts to come back, too, a little more. Hey, I'm happy for you, JJ. You're doing auto spots. I auditioned for a few like 2 weeks ago, but
Yeah, but there's no deals. Like, come see the Ford Difference Paris Ford Swaptober sales event. It doesn't say anything about having any cars or how much they cost or anything else. They're just reminding us that building is going under soon, and we
That's
need to
okay.
keep
I would
talking
take
about
that
it.
spot if I was getting paid for it.
And it's about 22
Totally.
seconds long, and I actually had to stack them on tracks
What do you
to get
mean?
them to 14.5.
Stack? What do you mean?
I mean, you take the first sentence, then you put the second sentence above it and push it in.
Because it was a 15-second spot?
14.5's TV.
Ooh.
And, I read it as fast as I possibly could. And then instead of just butting things up together, you can save even more time by just putting it above it on another track.
Yeah.
And really having it overlap. And you can get another 3/10, 4/10.
I just learned something new. You're so smart.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
Yes,
thanks, JJ.
yes.
I love
Oh,
it.
Don't mention it. Don't mention it.
So we're heading into October. Yay, Halloween.
No, it's Swaptober.
Spooky.
We have
Moo ha ha ha
a
ha.
mock audition workout on the first week of
So we're not really gonna do it?
October. Yeah, it's not going to be a real workout.
Okay.
And then we're doing a fun one. We're doing like Halloween themed voices. I have to keep looking at the calendar because Sandy keeps reminding me that I'm getting the dates wrong. Yeah. Oh wait, because I'm looking at September. That'll do it. The 5th is the mock audition night. The 12th, we're gonna do this fun, just some character stuff, some fun, scary stuff. And if we don't have enough, then we'll go back to regular coaching. And then Alyssa, you're joining us on the 19th, right?
I
Yes.
am.
You am.
Yes. So
You is.
I am.
you want
I
3
be.
fantastic opinions on your read? Please join us for the 19th of October with Alyssa, because you're going to get so much out of that 2-hour session. And again, I'm hearing some people are intimidated to come, but please don't be.
No.
I mean, we're giving people, we're honest with you, and JJ will put you through your paces. But you know what? You're going to grow from it, and isn't that the point?
Becoming the bad guy.
Of getting it. No. But isn't that the point of getting coaching? You want someone to give you that perspective, and Alyssa's going to give you the other perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't be
And you know
afraid.
what?
Yeah, I know.
Don't seriously, not of
Not
this.
with
So
us.
voiceover, people. You're not operating on somebody's brain with no experience, okay? All you have to do is read some words.
Seriously. But it's so true, being someone who spent their entire life, taking workshops and being coached and blah 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 blah. That's what I love. That's why I love working with the gurus, is that we have a no intimidation policy.
Yep.
Like we would never, that's not the purpose here.
Right.
That's not the purpose, to make this seem scary and or unachievable.
Exactly. The purpose is to help you grow, and if this is something you want to pursue, get you on that path to pursue it.
As long as you're not
Exactly.
Marceau.
Well, that would be tough. That would be tough.
Yep.
Well, I know I still get nervous. I did like a workout last Christmas with some casting directors in the city. I was nervous as all get out. And of course, they made me go like second to last. So I had to wait. I usually try to go first
waiting.
just to get it done and out of the way. But I still get nervous with it. So I feel for you. You at our workouts, and you're sweating. But once you get it done the first time, and then you realize, they don't bite.
Everybody sucks. No, I'm kidding. It was a joke.
Everybody starts somewhere.
But we have all, been in the times of, holy crap, there's not enough room in my mailbox for all the checks. And then there's, oh my God, there's nothing in my mailbox. So we've all been to both extremes in this business.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
And, we know all the sides.
Yeah.
And the good is the good,
And
but
what
the
it
bad.
feels like to just have an interest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And be coaching from that perspective, not coaching with ears that are trying to see the dollar signs and the checks or not for you.
Yeah.
Coach, just coaching from the perspective of hearing you in that moment now, bringing out your best work for that day.
Yep. Well, we're about as real as you get. We don't get on here and say, I've been successful for all 30 years of voiceover. I have never had downtime, right? And JJ, every
I'm
year
sorry.
is just better and better and better. Okay? I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Well, I may just have one peanut butter jelly sandwich this time.
As opposed to 2. 1 Coke as opposed to 2.
Right. No, I'll probably have 2 Cokes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what keeps
we know
my
where
heart
your money
beating.
goes.
It's all the sugar.
Well, Alyssa, thank you for joining us. This is long
Alyssa,
overdue.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here, and it was long overdue.
And just for you people
I love seeing you guys.
who don't know, but after my lesson with Alyssa, I booked 3 jobs in a week.
Yeah. You get
Just
the magic
thought I'd
touch.
lay that out there.
No
through
pressure
big
on you,
agents.
Alyssa. No pressure.
No, none.
No pressure on me at all, but truly, that's
I
Awesome.
went from what I was doing to, just go. Just do it.
Stop thinking about
Have
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Add some quirkiness to it. And boom.
here's a last thought I have. We're called VO artists. You cannot take that last word out of the title. You have to view yourself as that.
Yeah. So I don't view myself as a voiceover.
Yeah, like what is that?
I want to become a voiceover.
What is that?
That's right. I'm an adverb now. I don't do pronouns anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
You got to keep that artist part of it and have and find that fun. That word artist in your title gives you the freedom to be creative and explore. There are many jobs that don't have that artist word.
Is it fair to say the artist gets you in the door, and then knowing the technical things gets the session done quickly?
100%.
There we go. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
And on top of all that, in order to do that, you have to let go.
Yeah.
And I understand that, the students for the first time or people are intimidated by us, like, oh my God, I'm going to sound like an idiot. No, you're not.
Yeah.
If you can make us laugh because you've overdone it so much, then man, you win.
Yeah.
Just let go from the very word.
We
Go.
love the fact that you even try. If you don't try,
Yeah.
that's when it's upsetting.
That's right. That's right.
I'd rather you fall on your face in front of us because I will have more respect for you
Yep.
than not even trying or saying, I don't do that. Okay, then you don't do voiceover. So,
Right.
But
exactly.
so join us for an online workout or do
No.
some coaching with
Oh,
us
sorry.
because we love to work with
Yes.
students. Our online course is really easy. That's what we ask you to do first, just so you can start off and know all the basics before you go working with any of us. And everything's on the website, voiceover.guru or learnwiththegurus.com. Anything else to add
No, but I'd like to subtract something.
or take away?
Yes.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Thank you,
My
Alyssa.
pleasure. So good to see you guys, and I can't wait to see new faces and hear new voices.
Yes.
Well, I'm pretty much going to stay the same. It's just the scars.
You just got
healing
your
now, but-
stitches out, so you don't look.
Looking
You look
good.
different now.
Yeah, I do. This is
Looking
I don't
good.
have this anymore. It's nice, and I don't have them in here, so they're not get stuck while I'm chewing.
Hey,
This
fantastic!
is so much fun. I love being old. I love it. I just think that's marvelous.
Everybody have a
Anyway.
good rest of your day. Thanks for
Tell
joining
me
us.
what to
Please
do.
do.
Oh, bye.
See you soon.
Bye now.
Thanks for listening to the Voiceover Gurus podcast. Real talk about the voiceover industry. Learn more about us and get coaching at voiceover.guru.